Okay, call this meeting to order. Let the record show that all commissioners present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all need to quit.
All right, we have no minutes to be approved. We do have somebody, citizens' comments. How many, Brett? Come on up, please.
Well, we would just like to thank the Commissioners Court and the judge for awarding Valverde 4-H the Middle Rio Grande Development Foundation grant and the back to school kickoff. And if possible, maybe get a picture with you and the commissioners.
Sure.
Okay. Unfortunately, threatened not to take a picture.
That's me threatening things.
You're good.
That's fine, we don't see it. Just kind of come there between like this.
You're fine. You're fine. There we go.
We would have protested harder. Sharon would have made us get in it.
Smile on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. Let's do it. Your side of that. There we go. Perfect. 1, 2. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I don't comment on citizens, we're not supposed to comment on citizens, but there is a place in the agenda for the judge's comments, and under judge's comments, I would appreciate if somebody next year would approach the Middle Rio Grande and this foundation that is done, with the Middle Rio Grande. It's actually a golf tournament, and we raise, money for all entities that have a need for kids, to buy supply or doing something out. And hopefully next year, because I know we have another tournament in October, the 2nd of this year. Hopefully next year, it's the first time we received this, but we're entitled to at least $1,000. So make sure somebody applies for it next year, especially for the 4-H kids or whoever you want to give it to. But, I mean, this is money that goes out to other counties, and hopefully it stays in our county. And I'll appreciate somebody would bring it up next year. Okay? Thank you. All right. Nobody else with citizens' comments? All right. If not, I know Judge Gonzalez he has to be out, so I'm gonna jump over to item number 20. Discussion and possible action to request resolution and order for the Valverde County Court of Law to receive grant funds from the Office of Governor Criminal Justice Division Specialty Court Grant. So I need a motion. Second. Okay, any discussion or question? Judge, you want to say anything?
No, she just wanted you to know that the governor's office informed us about a week ago that the grant was awarded.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Nobody?
Aye.
You opposed? 4-1-0. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Judge. All right, next.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, next, we're gonna go to item
Can
number
I be
6.
excused, please?
Sure.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead. Thank you. All right, next, discussion and possible action on the tax, vote on proposed tax rate for schedule 2 public hearings. Go ahead, Mike.
Your book is too big, man.
what we need to decide here is just when we want to have those meetings to discuss the proposed tax rate. We're going to be above our effective rate, so there's going to have to be 2 meetings. There's going to have to be talking with Roy and I. We think Wednesday, September 5th would be a good day for the first one.
Okay.
And then Wednesday, September 12th would be a good day for the second one. Now, as far as times, I could give it up to you if you want to have one in the day and one at night. If you want to have them both during the day, that would be,
It's up, Commissioner, I don't have a problem with that day. Anybody?
The which day?
The
The 5th and the 12th,
12th.
they're both Wednesdays.
It's on Wednesday.
I'm fine with either one of those.
Night, morning?
Whichever, doesn't matter to me.
Morning would be fine.
Okay. Morning?
One of them is scheduled, regular scheduled meeting.
Yeah,
okay.
once scheduled meeting on the 5th. So we'll do that.
Yeah. So our proposed tax rate in this budget is .5237,
Okay.
correct.
and then we need to set the tax rate and then hold the hearing at this meeting
At this meeting, you need to set the proposed rate,
to set the proposed
to
rate.
set the proposed rate, and then you'll have your 2
Public
tax public hearings, and that's when, and then officially, we'll set it when we pass the budget.
And I would make a motion to set the tax rate instead of the .5237 to set it at .5037, which would be a 2-cent reduction in taxes.
There's a motion,
Second?
second. Okay, there's a motion, second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner?
You opposed?
I voted yes.
4?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it's 3 to 2 to increase it 2 cents. Okay? Right, now I do need a motion to set the dates, the 5th and the 12th. I know it's a Wednesday, so I know this room is free, so I don't have a problem scheduling those.
Make a motion to set the public hearings on the tax rate for September 5th at 9 a.m. and September, what the other? 12th at 9 a.m.
Okay, there's a motion, I need a second. Okay, any more discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody, 5-0. All right. Next, creation of the Salary Grievance Committee for fiscal year 2018, 2019. You want to keep the same one that we had?
Make a motion to keep the same.
No,
Huh?
you gotta go with the new list from the grand jury.
Okay.
And we got that, and we have the list here for anybody that wants to see it. And then I already have the names.
Okay, and I draw how
But
many?
it's in,
Yeah.
And then in here.
How many do I draw?
To draw, I believe it's 9, so.
did she already have them cut up?
Yes, sir, they're all,
Yeah.
they're in here already, they're just have to draw. And if whoever's drawing it, they'll just put a number on it so that, or give it back to me so I know.
Number 13. How many do I? how many-
I believe it's 9. You can
Give me that.
keep going, yes. Just check it up if you want.
Number 4. Number 6.
How many people are supposed to be in the committee?
Number 11. Number 2. Number 9. How many more do I need?
I don't know where we at.
We're at 5, you've got 6, you need 3 more.
Number 10.
From the grand jury, which is the name.
Number 12. And number 14.
If we need to draw some more, we can.
Excuse me?
I said, if we need to draw some more, we have them there.
Okay.
I can check the list from.
All right. I need a, do we need a motion, do we need to vote on it?
I think so, yes, sir,
Okay,
on the numbers that we're drawing.
I need a motion.
Motion to approve, the numbers drawn for the salary agreements committee.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody, 5-0. Next, item H, discuss possible action on 2018-2019 budget. Matt, anything you want?
We have these are the changes you left us with?
Correct.
Those are the ones we voted on the last time, Matt?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
And this is the net effect. Cover page is the net effect of all those.
What does that do to our fund balance? We reduces it how many days?
Reduces it how many days?
If you go by what our expenditures are versus what our fund balance is, it's 66 days
For 1 year.
for 1 year.
And then we're gonna have to move, to facilitate the debt, we're gonna have to move $500,000 over. So structurally, we're not balanced again. And next year, unless something happens, we're not gonna be structurally balanced. The structural balance, we're just funding that as your operating revenues
Yeah.
and your operating accounts equal your operating expenditures. We have having to use fund balance to balance the budget.
Because of the 2 cents that we're taking.
I haven't figured that in there, so
Yeah.
that's another, yes, that's what's gonna be, okay. Okay, what's the question?
$1 million of this is for one project. It should be done not through fund balance, it should be done through COs, tax notes, or some other mechanism.
I absolutely agree with you.
I mean, when you go in here and pull out when you've got $849,000 worth of capital, you've got $1 million over here on the Frontera project, that's 1.8 out of the 2 million, that needs to stay in fund balance, and these need to be done through COs or tax notes or some other mechanism, in my opinion. Which equates to about, what is it? $1.8 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you were to do it, you still have to have something to pay for it.
Correct, so we'd have to move over more pennies.
Yeah. Well, you don't have the pennies. You'd have to use your fund balance.
Correct.
Yeah, because you don't have the pennies to move. Well, you can move them, but you're going to be short on this other side. Either way, you're still going to have to move. You're still going to have to use fund balance.
In theory,
So at the end of
because pennies equal fund balance, yeah, you'd have to move over. Now, our long-range goal, my understanding, visiting with all you when I first came in here about 10, 12 years ago, has it been that long? Oh. Okay.
Sure have feel.
Yeah, was the judicial,
feels 10.
yes, was the judicial center. You know, we want to stay focused on it. Our debt is due to retire 23, 24. So whatever we do with the tax money, whatever we do with anything like that, we want to try to keep the years before that date. Now, this is before even if we were to use something to pay off the debt early so that we could go up for the CO for the judicial center earlier. That's always a possibility as well, if you maintain a healthy fund balance. Now, maintaining a healthy fund balance is important because that's going to affect your bond rating. And your bond rating equals savings and interest. And we can talk about that. I see that's in general, and we can talk about that in a little bit. But that's why it's extremely important. Having fund balance does save you money, not to mention the $250,000 it's costing us over in the tax office for not having fund balance per year. So,
$1 million is costing us?
what's that?
What do you mean costing us?
That's what it costs us per year, because we have problems making payroll towards the end of the year because we don't have fund balance. I mean, last year we got the loan on the 4th, payroll went out on the 6th, so we were 2 days away from issuing IOUs instead of direct deposits.
But we fixed
Because we
that.
didn't have.
But we fixed that.
We fixed that for one year, it's fixed. Yes, it is fixed this year. This is the first year that we're not having to take a loan, what, 7, 8 years?
Yeah.
Towards the end of the year?
So we've gone from basically 2 or 3 days of operating to 60-something days of
Which would be
operating.
the minimum that your bond rating agencies and GFOA recommends.
The thing with that is that the $2.6, $2.8 million was over in interest and sinking. the words that I use isn't what you like for me to use, but we moved some of the pennies over to, what's your term? My deal is we moved some of the money over.
Yeah, no, we,
But at the end of the day, we had the 2.6, 2.8 in interest and sinking.
Mhm.
All we did is move pennies over to where we could use that balance to be able to pay interest and sinking and use the pennies in our general fund. So we've always had the 2.6, 2.8. It just was not in the general fund.
that would be the correct statement.
Yes, but we went from 2.6, and this year, you'll have an ending fund balance of 5.2.
If you add in the, if you add in the 1.8.
If you add in 1.8 and 1.2.
Well, that's with,
Is that a bad thing to have?
no, I'm not saying
Okay.
that. This shows a ending fund balance of 5.2 million, and that includes all of these things in here, correctly?
Yeah, it'd be closer
I
to
don't know where you're
5.3,
getting the 5.2. Where are you
5.5.
getting the 5.2? You're on the grand total.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that grand total,
Okay.
because that's a combination of your interest in sinking, your capital projects, your
Yeah.
special revenue. I would go with the 3.5 number.
It's still an increase in fund balance.
It is, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing.
But does the lower tax rate affect that?
Lowering your tax rate, you would, in theory, you would just cut out it, or just eat into your fund balance.
And so what would the effect be? What would the total be, or do you not know?
The 2 cents is approximately $440,000.
I know.
Okay, sorry. I know I hate my acronyms.
There's no acronyms.
Okay.
Pass.
Right?
And we still have to hold hearings on the budget, correct?
Yeah, we have to have one hearing on the budget. You can have as many as you want. We just have to have one official hearing where it's voted on, and we can still continue to have multiple workshops throughout the cycle.
So you're gonna need to recalculate everything with this tax rate.
It would, if it passed. We would have to lower revenue by 440, and I'm going to have to lower revenue because of what's going on in a certain office. They've advanced more quickly than I anticipated, so I'm going to actually have to lower projected revenues. And the thing you want to keep in mind, this is the budget, and I know it's big and it's massive, but the only actual number in a budget is going to be your page count. So these are all estimates. So if our revenues doesn't come in line, that's one of the reasons for maintaining at least minimum fund balance by the GFOA and by the bond rating agencies.
I hate to ask, but did you say page count?
Page, right? That's the only actual number in the budget, right? Is your page count?
He's being funny. Keep up, Bonnie.
I need a guide. What's that? Sit next to me.
He's good, right?
So you're gonna
When you're being funny, turn to me, so.
He's working on his delivery.
I'm old.
So you're gonna recalculate it with the.
I can recalculate, and it's going to lower revenues, of course, by the 440, and who knows, we might be close to 500, but by the end of the cycle.
What collection rate are you using on that?
Now, the collection rate that's inside this all funds, it's actually 102%, because it calculates in the collections for penalties and interest. There's 96 on the pages before that.
On the,
In here, in here's 96.
on your property tax, you're using 96%.
I'm sorry. On this page is at 102.
Okay. And the other part, this page is.
That is 96, correct.
And what is our rate right now? What is our collection rate right now?
When the tax assessor gave it, it was over 100%. Now, right now, typically, you like to be within 1%
Mm-hmm.
of your estimated revenues. 2% is acceptable, you like to be at 1%. Presently, we're within that 1% already, and as long as we don't collect too much, then I will be within the 1%. I want to be over certain one or down. Last year, we came within 1/4 of 1%, so it was, those numbers were pretty solid. Now, as far as lowering it, well, we can discuss that at the hearings.
Lowering the tax.
The tax rate, yeah.
Right? Thank you, Matt.
We don't need to do anything on this then, right?
No.
Okay.
So we-
Was there any more adjustments that need to be made?
Not until you run the calculation.
Okay. No
They're
more
paid for
departments that
already.
wanted to come up with?
Nope, I have no request.
They still gotta pay for it,
All right,
and then we're gonna pay interest.
yeah. Next, item number 10, discuss possible, action on the, I
Judge,
think,
I'm sorry, on item 8, I didn't know, Commissioner, Wardle had said on a building that he was gonna need a building, and we put some numbers together, and I don't know how, it was about 110,000 for a
okay,
50 by
but we can
100.
discuss that when we, the budget workshop, when we adopt, when we do.
I just.
Commissioner Owens was good enough
Yeah.
to figure that out.
Okay,
This is complete.
Yeah, we-
Sewer, everything.
when we have that budget workshop
Okay.
on the 5th, we can discuss that.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, next,
Thank you, Commissioner.
I put this up, because I think Commissioner, you wanted to know about possible on the fund balance that we wanted. Some people wanted 45, some people want 60,
Some people wanted 90.
some people wanted 90.
Your financial advisor, Raul, wants as many as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
And when it comes to bond ratings,
When it comes to bond ratings, currently we're rated with, S&P, we're rated an A. And with Moody's, we're rated an A3. Now, you can see, you want to get up into the high grade, because this is where there's no insurance, similar to PMI. So this is the goal before you tend to go up for any debt, is you want to be up in this AA minus. That we would have to go up 2 notches in order to get there.
and what do they like for a fund balance?
Pardon?
What do they require for, or not necessarily require, like, to get up to that?
Well, S&P, they look at 60 days. We need not focus on days as a hard line, but the 60 should be a hard line. But other than that, you don't really need to focus on a hard line, just as long as you're above that. When S&P gave the rating here, they did quote that fund balance was low and that it needed to go up, and that could give us an upside scenario. And if we were to improve our county's budgetary performance and flexibility, if those were to increase. And then our downside, they quote our low fund balance and said that if we go below 500,000, they could actually drop us in the ratings.
And at that point, we had a $500,000 fund balance.
At that point, at one time, I think it was 682 when we got this rating.
The 3.5 right now,
Mhm.
if you calculate it by the sheet that we were just handed a little while ago, 1 of 1, that would give us 66 days. The
And
3.5.
that would be, in my opinion, that would be approaching borderline. I don't know if you have looked at the other taxing entities that are local to us, but that's fractions compared to what other entities are carrying.
And that'll go down a little bit because we'll lose $444,000.
Yep.
So I mean, it would be, it's about 53,000.
Unless you cut output.
Mhm.
Unless you cut output.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Right.
You got, I mean, we could balance that with the raises. The raises were 500. We could balance that, make it a net neutral. I don't know. Do something.
Okay. What I need is a motion to set I think 66 would be nice. I would need a motion for that.
What I could do, Judge, is I could write some sort of fund balance policy. I could set that as joint court could pass it, and we would just mainly set it roughly. The intention is to always maintain at least 60 days in our unassigned. So that way, we don't have a target that if it's not 60 days, we have to go out and find some place to put it.
Alright.
And once again, the goal is to get up into the high-grade investment before we go out to the judicial center. That is the goal. And if we start playing these games with 60 and then we're at 59, they're going to take multiple years and look at
The average, it.
Mhm. So we want to make sure that we're always above that.
So you're gonna put together a policy and bring,
Sure, I can put together a fund balance policy.
You can bring it when we have a budget workshop.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right, thank you, Matt. All right, next, discuss possible action on the requesting the use and setup of a county stage for the Don Paso Association that will be held September the 15th, 16th. We did this last year.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody. Thank you. All right, next, item 11, discuss possible action on the use of the Val Verde County Fairgrounds parking lot for the National Light Out.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Judge Flores, sign.
Okay, well, it's a motion, a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody. 5-0. Next, discuss possible action on the, action between the Val Verde County Fairgrounds and Amistad National Recreation Area. Lots 2 camels, 1 horse, and livestock for the archaeology fair.
And a partridge.
And a partridge in the red tree.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody. 5-0. Next, item 13, discuss possible action on the, upon Texas CDBG 7216-075, drawer number 10, authorize county judge and county auditor to sign it.
So moved.
Second. Second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed? Nobody. 5-0. Okay. Now let's put item 14, discuss possible action on the plans and specifications of Texas CDBG 7216-075 water tank and booster station project for San Felipe Pastor, scheduled for bid, opening date, and authorize the publication of bid advertisement twice.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning.
Morning.
Gentlemen, y'all may recall this is the second half of the existing contract that's going on with Val Verde County. Currently, Commissioner Flores down there is installing the water line on Vega Verde Road, and this is the other half of that project. It's proposed to put a booster station, a water tank over here on FM 2523 for Paisano and out there around San Felipe Pastures area. So we're finally to the point, we're getting close to the point when I put this out on the street, get a contractor to bid on it, and actually do some installation over there. We got project engineer here this morning, Jared Newman from TRC, drove in from Austin this morning. And so Jared's going to go over the plans and the specs with the county, and the bid would answer any questions. Jared?
Thanks, Carl.
Morning.
Just wanted to go over briefly what the booster station site is going to look like out in the along Hamilton Lane. It's going to be in the Precinct 2 area. We'll be building a booster station there at the corner of Hamilton Lane and Old Hamilton Road. The booster station is going to be a 26,000-gallon ground storage tank on a concrete slab. We performed a geotechnical analysis there to determine structural integrity and the necessary concrete. We'll also be putting in the plans a metal building. The grant has about $180,000 left from the portion, less the portion of Vega Verde Lane's water line. So with those funds, we're looking to bid out a ground storage tank, 26,000-gallon metal building, similar size and construction to the one out at the Escondido site that was recently built, and the fencing of the site. The additional funds to complete the booster station would happen at a later date with another grant or additional funding from another source.
What do you need from us, Carl? What do you need from us? You need a motion for the time and the date, or what is it that you need from us?
I guess we need to schedule a bid opening date with the county. We need to publish in the paper twice. We got to wait at least 15 days. Sort of back into this deal. I think we'd be ready to go ahead and put it on the street in the Del Rio News Herald on September the 2nd. That's on a Sunday. We have to advertise twice, 2 weeks consecutively. Again, on September the 9th, we would advertise, and I guess the earliest we could maybe open bids would be on a Friday. That'd be September the 21st. That doesn't really correspond with the county's meetings. That would be the Wednesday before, but we really can't open bids any sooner than that. We probably couldn't come to the court until the following meeting, which would be probably the first week in October, to actually make a...
So do you just need a motion for y'all to have the 2 hearings and have the bid opening, and then y'all control the dates? Would that work?
Yeah.
I'll make a
I'd like to
motion.
also interject that this afternoon at 4 o'clock, we're meeting with the Public Utility Commission over at City Hall to go over the same project with them and get their approval.
I'll make a motion that allow Carl and Roy to set the 2 hearings and have a bid opening and bring it back to the court.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item 15, discuss possible action appointing members to the Fairground Committee.
We've had this on, and we're supposed to bring back names for the, to appoint members to this committee. I don't know if everybody has names. If not, we can wait till the next one, but I have my name. but I
Let's
don't-
wait till the next one. So, how many do you recommend?
It's going to be a 5-member committee,
I think we talked 7.
or 7 members, yes, sir.
We can wait till the next meeting?
That's fine.
Okay. All right.
So real quick, who were you, that way we don't have the same names, who were you thinking about?
Marvin Hill.
Who?
Marvin Hill.
Oh, okay.
Is the one I'm going to appoint.
Okay. All right. Let's go now to item 16, discuss possible action to raise the salary from $37,384.69 to $41,162.50 per annum with the Mayor Risk Management Assistant, Health Inspector, Risk Management, Floodplain Administrator.
Judge, I'll make the motion for the court to approve this increase.
I'll second it.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion on this one?
She'll be taking over all the responsibilities of Mr. Sherman, yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is the base pay, we're not just
Yes.
giving the raise, just to give.
Just the base pay for that. Okay. All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody, 5-0. Next, discussion of possible action regarding the relocation of Social Security office located in community centers.
Judge, we really don't know if it's going to be relocated or not. The word is, I think Congressman Will Hurt's office is talking to the city concerning moving the Social Security office to city buildings. All I have to say is that we've been great hosts to the community center, to the Social Security office. We've done an expansion that cost a little bit over $250,000 and provided them with a private office, waiting area, restrooms, and we've got them on the other side of the building, not where we do the food distribution. And they're happy there. They've been happy there since day one. When they lost their office because they were short on funds and this and that, they approached the city, see if the city could help them with a building, free of rent and utilities. And the city couldn't help them. So they came to me, and I found a room for them there at the community center, and we've had them there. We've grown to become a family there. We all work together. They do their own thing, and we do ours. But I'd like to say one thing. If for some reason the Social Security office decides to move somewhere else, as long as they stay here locally, I'm happy with that. But it's going to be their decision, I think, and nobody else's.
I think you've done a great job, and, when they were leaving and nobody wanted them, you stepped up, the county stepped up to make sure that we kept the Social Security office for our people here, and we've made a great investment, and I don't understand why they want to leave to start with.
Okay.
Or why anybody wants them to leave, the location that they're at. Nobody wanted them back then, and now all of a sudden everybody wants them. I would make a motion to authorize the judge to prepare a letter to send to Congressman Hurd and the Social Security office requesting that they stay at the community center.
Second.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I know Congressman Hurd has a list of people that wanted that to move. All I can say is, if people were unhappy with that location or happy that, they should have come to us first because we were hosting that office there. We found out after the fact that they wanted to move after we invested all that money. And I'm kind of disappointed because we did In fact, we gave Commissioner Flores a hassle over spending so much money on that, and he took it and he got the bull by the horns and led the way, so I applaud him for it, and I'm all for that. Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Flores, why do you think they're wanting to move? Where do you think that's coming from?
No, the Social Security office does not want to move. I talked to the area manager, and she told me, Commissioner, don't worry about it. It's just some people that are unhappy, but, you know, like they say, there's a rotten apple in the basket. It's going to spoil a lot of other apples, so we have not heard nothing directly from the Social Security office stating that they want to move, period.
Ms. Gutierrez is here.
Okay,
from
I know.
Woodford's
I was
office.
gonna-
I was just gonna tell Commissioner Warren.
Yeah, no, I was gonna wait until the commissioners, and then I'll call her. Ms. Gutierrez, you want to come?
Are there any other comments from
Yeah.
any other commissioners
No.
or concerns so that I can address them when I go up?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Good morning, I'm Carmen Gutierrez, field representative for Congressman Will Hurd. Just a couple of clarifications. It's not Congressman Hurd that initiated any action. We actually submitted an inquiry on behalf of the city of Del Rio, who had received some concerns, complaints, and actually the city of Del Rio, under the former administrator, and Mayor Garza and City Manager Henrietta Redondo asked Congressman Hurd to submit an inquiry to find out the status of a letter that they had initiated to Social Security office in response to constituents in this area that wanted to bring the Social Security back inside the city limits. And the reason that they were stating was primarily for privacy issues, that the community center is used as a community center. It's an emergency shelter, food distribution, English as a second language workshops, health and wellness fair clinics. And so many of these residents in our area, Val Verde as well as the city of Del Rio, were very concerned about those privacy issues. But I did want to clarify that it's not Congressman Hurd pushing this issue. Our goal, Congressman Hurd's goal, is always to work with achieving the elected officials' objectives. That's what we do. So just like in any matter, we normally assist in whatever we can. And so the letter did go to from the city of Del Rio to Social Security. They are considering it. Last week, I actually approached new Mayor Lozano, and I said, well, now we have a new administration, a new mayor, and I don't know what his position is, as if he would like to continue to pursue it or not. But as Commissioner Flores well stated, it is going to be the decision of the Social Security office. I thank Commissioner Flores for, of course, rescuing, what I'd like to say is rescuing the efforts of Val Verde County still having a Social Security office. So, and we have been in communications. I have emailed the county on various occasions, letting them know what was going on. And so it should not be a surprise. But anyway, I do want to clarify that Congressman Hurd is here to work with all elected officials, the city and the county. This is something that you all have to get together with them, if you all decide that you want to get together with them. But ultimately, I don't know at this point in time if Mayor Lozano is going to want to pursue it or not. Former Mayor Garza and city manager have offered a standalone building just off of Las Vacas next to a soccer field exclusively for the use of the Social Security office. And so they were considering it, but Social Security had not made a decision at that time. And I don't know what their thoughts are at this time.
And just to add to it, yesterday I met with Mayor Lozano in Eagle Pass. We had Middle Rio Grande, and I did mention the things about we just talked about here. And he says, well, I don't know your side. I just heard one side. So obviously, he has an eye to maybe withdraw that, keep it where we're at. But I also told him that on Tuesday we have a meeting with him, and I would invite him to tour community center, so he knows what the county has been doing, and he said he would, so I do have a meeting with him on Tuesday at 3:30. I set up the meeting, and I also have a meeting with Chaplow. I know Commissioner Owens is gonna be there too on that one. But those two items I'm gonna discuss with him.
Okay,
Thank you.
and just as I said, we are here to assist the county or the city in whatever endeavors they choose to pursue.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Judge, I'd like to say something else,
Sure.
concerning the community center. I'm very proud of that center on behalf of the county. I think it represents us very well. It's a center that brings help with different programs to the community. And, we've got community action there, we've got the Social Security, we've got the SNAP program, we have food distribution. And that's what a center is, a center that brings help to the community. And the doors are open, and we open the doors to the Social Security office. They're there, they're happy. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have a problem with this, but, you know, we're here for any suggestions or anything that comes up. I mean, we'll be more than glad to work it out with the Social Security office.
Go ahead.
In that motion, could we ask, I mean, if there's concerns, could we ask what they are?
Yep.
I mean, my deal is if they'll give us an opportunity if there's something wrong to fix. I mean, if they see
Oh,
something
okay.
wrong, right? I mean,
I'll amend my motion to add that we request from the letter the judge is sending out that what concerns that people have so that we can look at addressing them, and hopefully the city will come sit down. And I didn't realize they were already pursuing trying to do this without having a conversation with us.
yeah, and again, if there's concerns, I think we need to hear them.
I haven't heard any concerns. Everybody I've heard is glad that it's here.
And that's my complaint. The concerns came after the fact. So that, we never knew about the concerns till after the fact that they wanted to move it. So they didn't give us a chance to improve on any things that they were complaining about, so.
But the question goes again, Judge, who wants to move it? The Social Security don't wanna move.
No, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are the complaints, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, there's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Thank you, thank you. All right, next, discussion possible action to discuss going on the RFQ on environmental studies for the Frontera Road project.
Yes, Judge, I'd like to make a motion to go out for RFQs on, environmental studies that are pending on this project. And, there's a total amount of, money that this is gonna cost, $36,210.72. And I'd like to get this money from the money that's been set aside for that project.
Motion second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
You need to set up a review committee of.
Yeah.
Scoring committee, that's what I'm looking for. You need to set up a scoring committee.
What do you want on that
Who do you want on the committee? 3 or 4 members at the moment. I think the last ones we had you and.
Roy, Aaron, and, who else? And me.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Second accept.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0.
you go ahead.
All right, next, discussion and possible action to purchase a gravel truck, not to exceed 45,000.
Yes, sir. Judge, what we're gonna do here is, we've got the cleanup coming up, September the 3rd to, it's gonna be a 30-day deal. But anyhow, I need a grapple truck. I've got one, kinda old, beat up. So I just wanna line this up, cause, we're gonna try to get one in that price range.
Coming out of your tax note?
Yes,
A motion.
that's a motion.
Second.
The motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 5-0. All right, now let's go to item 21, discussion possible action requesting a budget amendment for funding the upcoming 2018 special runoff election for Senate District 19 expenditures. And the state is not gonna reimburse us on this one.
Well, I thought you talked to him, Judge.
Every time I talk to him.
They never have money.
Good job.
That's all they say.
Okay, on the first issue is the funding for the upcoming special runoff election. You have previously funded the actual election, this is for the runoff. And in that respect, we had thought that perhaps we were gonna need an additional $50,000. And we have, my staff and I have looked at everything that we think we can do. And we have determined that we can do it with 28,000.
That's great to hear.
Can I?
Okay.
So, there's a lot of things that, we think we won't have, we're not gonna have early voting as long as
5 days.
the general. So there's places that will be able
So
to
we're
cut
changing
that.
early voting?
Yeah, 5 days.
September 10th through the 14th. It's 1 week versus,
Not 10 days.
And then after the lawsuits, and we wind up with the 2 weeks, and what?
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
And believe it or not, most counties, judges called and said, why don't you do it on the general election on the 14th? The governor's office is, no, it's our choice, we do it when we want
I
to.
mean, I understand it's our choice, but it's our money.
I know,
Yes.
So you're gonna get 28,000, we have contingency, where we
we
getting
have
from?
50.
We don't have a choice.
This is in addition to the.
To the other
50 we
part?
already spent.
Yes,
Yeah,
53,
there's approximately
53.
30,000 left in contingency.
on that one.
We have how much?
Approximately 30. I don't know the exact amount.
Take
What
the 30.
we can
Leave us something.
Yeah, what we can do is, earlier in this year, you guys did set aside $250,000 out of a previous settlement that we moved over into next fiscal year. So I can just adjust that budget adjustment, 30,000, bring it back into contingency.
I'll make a motion to take the 28,000 out of that
You
250.
want to just, yeah, we'll just do adjustment for
Do
30,
adjustment for 30 and.
bring it back into
Yeah.
contingency.
Second.
That doesn't mean you're gonna spend 30.
You know, the 28, the 28, Commissioner Boyce is wrong.
I have
Give us a round number, that's right. Be around, don't do the .844.
All right, there's a motion
That's where the
and a
28
second.
came from.
Any more discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
I'm going out on a limb, I'm giving him where I figured out to be 28, so he's
Yeah,
gonna
but you
make
just
me
got
stick
30.
to that.
Say something.
Okay.
All right, next, discussion and possible action on approved order special runoff election for SD 19.
Yes, sir, I provided both the order that you need to sign and the commissioners need to sign, and the notice. Those, Rolita has them back there.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody needs to see it.
We need to,
No, we need to sign, it. Just approve it.
okay,
Yes.
motion to approve the order to hold the special.
Okay, there's a motion and a second, any discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, I see.
Okay, the order needs to be signed by everybody,
Okay.
and the notice is just.
You have it?
Yeah, it's
She's got them right there.
Yes, Rebecca.
Okay, we'll sign it right now. All right, and the next item is 23, requesting consolidation of election precincts pursuant to 42.08, the Texas Government Code, Texas Election Code for 2018 special runoff election for Senate, State Senate District 19, approving poll positions, poll locations for consolidated precincts.
Motion to approve.
Motion in the second. She did.
Can you get us another one? It says September, not September.
We can.
Okay, there's a
She
motion.
typed it on the wrong one.
Okay.
It's all good, though.
Yeah. At least we're in the same one.
Who approved this, I mean, who made the motion?
I made the motion.
Second for Conte?
Was, Commissioner Flores.
They should be the same as the ones we used in the regular
All right,
election in the same location.
all right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, thank you. All right, next, requesting appointment of a number of election clerks to serve on each voting location for the 2018 special runoff election
That's, I'm sorry.
for
I didn't
SD
realize
19.
That's also on your handout from
Mhm.
the tab 3. Here's another place where we were able to cut. We used 7 per polling place. We're going to do 5 this time.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion and a
As
second.
presented.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Right.
Aye. All those opposed, nobody, thank you. Next, requesting appointment of Central County Station Judge Jovita Agüero and alternate Judge Robert Castillo for the 2018 special runoff election.
Motion approved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. Thank you. And item 26, requesting appointment of Valverde County Park Deputy as needed for the upcoming 2018 special runoff election for SD 19. So move.
Second.
Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, item 27, discussion and possible action regarding the selection committee results of the request for qualification for professional services with district council. I think everybody got that.
Got it.
I provided the tally sheet. We had Citygate GIS and Rolando L. Rios Consulting. The score for Citygate GIS was 227 points. And for Rolando Rios, it was 270 points, so therefore the high score went to Rolando L. Rodriguez.
Motion approved.
Second.
Is there not, I mean, I know we're redistricting, the city's redistricting, the school's redistricting. It seems to make sense to me that we just hire one person that does everybody's redistricting instead
And I
of 4
think the city
contracts.
is hiring Rios.
Yeah, but we still have 4 contracts.
Right.
It would make sense if we could get that done, because I think in our precinct,
everybody-
everybody precinct.
And most of the elections are handled through here anyway, so if we just hired one person and they handled everybody's and the city threw some money in the school district and everybody else, and then we just did redistrict. That would make more sense than each one of us.
I'll change my motion, one, that we hire Mr. Rios, and maybe give authority to the judge to go out and ask, and maybe if we could all, hire one group and probably try to get.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 28, discussion and possible action regarding Valverde County entering into a monthly lease agreement with Pitney Bowes to provide mass mailing postal service for 63rd District.
The current contract is $168 a quarter. The new contract would be $218.91 a quarter, to include an upgrade to a new series machine.
Move.
So moved. Second. Any?
It starts in October?
Why are you asking me difficult?
All right, we'll get it.
I'll get the contract.
Now I want to know.
Now you want to
I'm
The
just.
second day of August 2018. That's a little, no, I don't think that's correct. No, I'm sorry. I'm sworn documentation. That was something else. I can't see the date, like immediately here, but.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Who was the second?
Mr. Ward.
This is what-
Mr. Flores.
Mr. Floyd Horla?
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Next, item 29, discussion and possible action regarding the release of $1,420.05 from the tax note 2013 discretionary funds for $17,446.76 from the tax note 2016 court discretionary fund to be used to continue construction of the Family Violence Center.
Motion to approve. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Before we vote on it, we have good news. The plumbing inspector, the building passed the plumbing inspection, so we're going to close up all the walls now, and the little walls that we had, they're mostly closed, so we're about to move forward. Thank you very much.
Very good news.
Thank you. All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. All right, item 30, discussion and possible action to reopen and close window for district attorney's office. The window is currently bricked in and is located in the first floor of the AC units.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. If I may, I went ahead and took the liberty of getting a picture for you guys to make sure you know what I'm talking about.
You want to take it out and put a window in?
I would like to have that done simply because we'd like to get a little bit more natural light back in that area. I do have a concern. I'm not sure what that vent is for, the pipe. I can tell you that on the other side of it, on the upstairs, is where the other bathroom is, and that's vented out in with another pipe. So I'm not sure if that's even something that we really need in that building, those two items there. But I wanted to bring it to your attention first and ask your approval to do that. As you can see, it certainly has been bricked over, so it's not something that we're changing to the actual original part of the building. It's already been bricked over.
You have the money?
Don't you?
Nope.
I play this game at home too.
You don't win there, you don't win there either, do you?
It's usually my money. So, to answer your question, sir, yes, I do have the money to do it, but I'd rather y'all take care of it, but I'll meet you halfway.
I don't know what it's gonna cost.
I don't know, sir. I'd have to get an estimate, and I just wanted to see if y'all might be interested in allowing us to do that first.
Yeah, if we go half and half, I'll talk, see if we can have money in the maintenance.
If you do remember, you're my landlord, and
Are you wanting a window, or are you wanting glass? Because a window to build something like this is gonna be a nightmare. To put in a piece of glass is gonna be easy.
whatever is the most efficient and practical way to do it, sir.
You're not trying to open it or do
No,
it?
sir.
Okay.
Just the glass would be the way to.
All right,
You gonna want bulletproof glass?
No.
That's only in certain areas of the office.
all right, I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion, second.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Any more discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0.
Thank you, made the motion. That's all. You jumped right in there.
All right, item 31, discussion possible action to authorize the acceptance of 2019 sheriff and constable's fee report.
These are the new fees?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, the only thing that changed, the constable D was added to that, and also mileage over 30 miles at the government rate for service.
So these are the same fees we had last year?
Yes, sir.
And
We're,
are they at the top end of the requirements, the middle?
we're more at the top end of what the statute allows.
But we're within limit.
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion. Need a
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 32, discussion and possible action authorizing, Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to transfer $2,633.72 for the capital outlay line item to the operating supplies line item.
Now, that's a specialized toolbox that we need.
So you're moving money from capital to office or office to capital?
That's what it'll to operate. Capital to operate.
And you're gonna buy a capital item?
Yes.
Kind of reverse the other way.
What do you mean, kind of?
From operating the capital?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're buying a capital item, right?
Mhm.
So you're moving it, yeah, okay, all right.
I'm
So
operating the
I'll
capital.
make a motion to move from operating to capital.
There's a motion.
Third.
Mr. Wardlow?
They had 2 seconds out there.
Okay. All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 33, discussion and possible action authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to request 2 credit cards for the Valverde County Sheriff's Office to be issued to Juanita Diaz and Fabian Galvan.
Move.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Item 34, discussion and possible action authorizing and to accept a donation of $50 from Ms. Sarah Boston.
Move.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 35, discussion and possible action on requesting authorization to apply for and accept a Texas Forest Service for a large brush truck that covers 90% of the cost, and the fire department can come up with $222,000. If approved, the fire chief will proceed to seek the Commissioner's Court approval.
Move.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 36, monthly treasury report.
Go get it, man.
Morning, Commissioners, Judge. This report does need approval. This is not the.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Better hear from them.
Need a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. Any questions? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nobody, 5-0. All right. Next, the HR monthly report from August 8th, 2018 to August 21st, 2018. So move. Need a second?
Second.
Second. All right. Any more discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 38, discussion and possible action of hiring 2 part-time drivers for the Veterans Office.
Oh, we already did this.
No, we moved the money, but we haven't approved.
Okay.
We put up a new budget.
Okay, so we haven't, for this year.
Yeah.
For this year, they are not in.
Okay. Motion to approve and add to the, it'll come out of the judge's budget. Yes.
Right, do you want to add them?
Add those 2 positions.
Starting next fiscal year?
You gonna start them now, or we need
Yeah,
them?
we need them now.
All right.
And they're gonna start at $8 an hour. We had talked about minimum wage, but they're gonna start at $8 an hour.
Motion to set in this year to create 2 new positions for part-time drivers for the Veterans Office in this year's budget to be paid out of the money that the judge has in his budget for part-time.
For hourly wage.
At hours.
Okay. I know there was one driver that said he'd done it free for 10 years, so he called me and he says, can I get back pay for 10 years? Anyway, okay, let me check, no. All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Thank you, ma'am. All right, item 39, the monthly county audit report. So move. Need a second? Need a second? Second, Commissioner Torres?
Yes.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 40, discussion of possible action for payment approved for an invoice that does not comply with purchase policy.
Yes, I have.
Oh, man, I'm on here this time.
Doing bad.
Uh-oh. Motion to approve.
There's a motion. Need a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Counselor, do we need to go into executive session?
We just have some insurance claims, but,
No? Okay, no? All right. All right, now we'll go item 42. I know we need to flag the, okay, they didn't bring the flags, I think. No certificates of compliance? Okay. Need a motion to approve the monthly reports for the elected office.
Move.
So move.
To second it.
Okay, second.
Mr. Ward.
All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Okay, approved pay, bills out for payment,
Move.
so move.
Okay.
Do you need to add anything?
Yeah, there was 2
No.
bills.
Go ahead.
They're just coming out of a special revenue that are outside right now.
I'll amend my motion to add the 2 bills.
Okay.
And there's a motion, and a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner
Ward.
Orloff? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. And I already said my county, executive comments. Anything else? If not, yeah. Okay, I want to make that, because there was somebody called the radio station, they got to thank it for me. The office, the Veterans Office is not closed. We still have 2 people there. It will be closed tomorrow because the 2 ladies are there going to training, but the office will be managed by my office. And, but it's not closed. We still have all the services. In fact, we've got the volunteer drivers starting tomorrow, drive 6 people and clean them. So that nothing has changed at the Veterans Office. So don't get the impression that it's closed, that we're not servicing the veterans. We are. Everything's normal. On that, nothing else, meeting's adjourned.